Oh, there we go. So I am going live now. We also, so we're starting the live stream and make sure I enable sound. All right, we are good to go. So the announcement was, and we actually have one of the guest trainers here in this live. So this coming Thursday, we have training, and basically with this training and my vision behind what I wanted to do for 2022, that's going to be brand new, something we never really did before, was to be able to invite people who are already doing the trading and already mastering the craft with trading. You know, they don't have to be like in the super high earnings, but just someone who at least knows the knowledge with trading that can help out other people. And so on Thursday, this Thursday will be the first training. And actually, Jonathan, who is in here today on this live, he is going to be hosting that first training, or co-hosting, because I'll be there as well. I'll be like the main host, but he'll be helping out, going through the training. And you know, these people are volunteering. They're here, excited to help out the community of Market Masters Academy. So I just want you guys to be, you know, welcoming to these people, and you know, the first person is going to be Jonathan. Then we have other people who are volunteering that will be helping us out as well. But yeah, the main goal behind this is to just cover over topics that they like really understand. So like at first we're going to be covering like the price action stuff. Jonathan will have like a full guideline on how to help you guys out with that. And it's going to be max an hour. So it might be maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but max an hour where he'll be there helping you guys out. You guys can ask him questions. You guys can, you know, come in and help out as well. Like I'll be inside of that live as well, the live training, and I might come in and you know, add a couple of things here and there. But, you know, the part of this whole concept is it's like the military concept of no man left behind. So I know we have a lot of people who are struggling with trading, that need that extra guidance, and maybe it's just a simple question that you can ask that will get answered in these trainings. So we will start doing them every Thursdays, and it's going to be called Training Thursdays. As of now, that's the title of it. Training Thursdays, and the time that we're planning on doing them is the same time as the Technical Tuesdays. It'll be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So highly suggest you guys come in, even if you're already advanced. You know, you can come in and even help out other people within the within this like group training. So well, we'll see. Overall, this is going to be the first run, so there might be some trial and error, some things that we're trying to figure out on how we're going to be doing these group trainings. But overall, it's just going to be like someone who's going to be the main person who's doing the teaching, and then, you know, I'll be jumping in a couple times to help out, or we'll see how this thing flows. But it will be starting this Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll also be going live on YouTube for those that do watch on the YouTube live. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's get started with the Technical Tuesday. Okay. So first off, we're going to be looking at what news we have. So news so far that we have some high impact in the New York session for the USD. We don't have anything for London session. And in New York session, again, there'll be some medium impact on USD. So just mainly the USD we're going to be looking at. And since it's going to be mainly the USD, I'm going to first start off by looking at the DXY, which is the dollar index, and just seeing how this is playing out right now. So overall, the dollar index, I have my markups here. It was consolidating, kind of doing like this head and shoulder or triple top type of thing going on. And it's at the area of a breakout. So overall, I'm expecting for the dollar to drop in price. So if my prediction is that the dollar is going to drop in price, this will help out with the currency pairs that I'll be looking at during the New York session. So, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So if I expect for the dollar to decrease with Euro USD, Euro is the main currency, USD is a quoted currency. So if I expect USD to go down, then Euro will be stronger than the USD, which means Euro should be rising. And so let's look at the actual charts for Euro USD. So with Euro USD, it's actually, if you can see, it's kind of doing the exact opposite of what's happening with the DXY. So the DXY, it was increasing, then consolidation. Euro USD was decreasing, consolidation. So Euro USD has been consolidating for a while, and it's actually at that breakout point. And so we're expecting the breakout and basically should be rising for a bit. As the dollar gets weaker, Euro will be increasing. So now if I look at USD pairs, so let's say, I'll just say USD JPY. I'll erase everything so you can see. So USD JPY, if I'm expecting for dollar to get weaker, then this should be dropping because USD is the main currency for USD JPY. This should be decreasing in value, and then JPY will be getting stronger. So USD JPY, like there's currencies like USD CAD. Let's check out USD CAD. It should also be decreasing as well. So it's actually already decreasing currently, but it's currently on the downtrend. So right now, it's creating its low, and this is actually the prediction here, expecting for price to come down actually around this negative 61.8, come down to negative 61.8, come back up to maybe about here, and then continue to drop down. Since overall, I'm expecting USD currency to drop. So let's do like the actual full analysis on these though. I just wanted to explain how the dollar correlates with all these other ones. And by the way, the US dollar is 80% of the market's volatility. So it's very important to know what the US dollar is doing because it will affect like all these different currency pairs, especially the major pairs. So all the majors, if you notice, all have USD in them. USD CHF, AUD USD, GBP USD, NZD USD. And I just saw a question someone asked, if DXY goes down, does NAS go up? Are you talking about the NASDAQ? So that's correlation. So the NASDAQ correlation with the stocks, right? So with stocks, I do some stock trading, but I don't do like the NASDAQ, mainly the S&P 500. But let's actually check that out. Why not? So NASDAQ or NAS 100 is, which are you referring to? NAS 100. Okay, yeah, I really don't trade this, but just from looking at this consolidation, just like how the USD was doing that consolidation. So no, this is, I wouldn't necessarily say like there's any sort of um, correlation between them, because this was just rising, 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 and it's not like the USD was decreasing in value the entire time. If I look back, it's not like decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. It's like it was going in an uptrend, consolidation. So yeah, not necessarily, but the NAS, just based off of what I'm seeing here, S&P 500. So it's very similar to the S&P 500 as far as like what I'm noticing so far with the flow of it. Most stocks do go up, by the way. It's just kind of the common of what happens. There was a big downfall during this whole COVID phase, and then stock prices started rising. It's lots of fear in the market. But anyways, let's go through the majors. USD CHF, I'm expecting this to decrease just because of the USD. And I'll actually erase everything just so you guys are not confused here. Move all my indicators, keep it nice and clean. Someone asked for GBP JPY. I'll actually be checking that one out today. So let's first start off with USD CHF. So I'm on the monthly now just to get like a bigger perspective of everything. Okay, some consolidation here. Go out to the weekly just to see what's going on here. Get my zone area here. Daily. So again, just based off of what I'm seeing with USD, if I'm expecting decrease in the USD, then USD CHF should be going down. So right now it is at the zone right now. It is hitting the support right here, like uptrend support, but it's hitting this resistance. So it's kind of like consolidating into this area here. And overall, it's in an uptrend. Got a big wick right here. Okay. One push, two push. So we have right here, we have second push, third push. Usually after the third push, you do notice that it starts creating its reversal pattern. So we should most likely see it push up, but not past this area. So just going to look and see here. Fibonacci prices around that 50, 61.8 area. Don't see any reversal pattern in this area just yet to confirm the push going up. Just check my pivots here. So most likely we'll drop down to this S1 right here and then bounce up. Very lowest of 15. So we're going to see what's going to happen during the London session, because the New York session is mainly when we're going to be looking to trade this, not really the London session for this. So at the moment now, there's not really anything to get in on, and it's also right in the middle between this pivot point here and this S1. It's right in this very center, so there's not really like any major reaction area that I'm noticing, but it might continue to drop down, and maybe in the New York session we'll notice something right here forming to tell you it's going to reverse or it's going to just continue to break down. Based off of my USD analysis, I think it's going to break down, but we don't want to forget that this is in an uptrend at the moment. And for uptrends, you do notice higher highs, higher lows. So the trend is our friend. We want to go with the trend, but there's a potential for the reversal. So I'm just going to mark it off right here, just because this is going to be my area to look for. Let's check out AUD USD. Going out. Show you guys a full top-down analysis here. Okay. Okay. So far from what I'm seeing here, this is kind of aligning with what I'm expecting the USD to do. It's expected to hit here and then rise up. If the USD gets weaker, then this means AUD USD will go up. So it's at like this major support right here. Just mark off these points. Okay, down to the daily. Okay, so overall, like we can see it's going in an upward channel right now. But the 4-hour is showing we have like so many different ways it's going right now, because it's going upwards, but 4 hours showing that it's going down. Just check here. Okay, so I'm expecting USD to, or AD USD to get stronger. So this is most likely what we're going to see here. Rise, rejection, and then continue to rise. I don't see any entry point just yet, but I would be looking for an entry point somewhere in this area. Once it gives me like some sort of reversal pattern in this point, and then for its breakout to go up. Yeah, but at the moment there is no trade entry for AUD USD. Yeah, so basically this entire area right here should be rising all the way to this top zone up here. Okay. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, you can put it inside of the chat area. I'm also going to start adding the poll right now. The poll is just going to ask what currency pairs you would like me to analyze during this live analysis. We do have about somewhere around 30 minutes for this live analysis. And by the way, you know, if you notice how quick these analyses are, sometimes there's a bit more that I'm looking for when, or not sometimes. I want to say like there is a lot more that I'm looking for than just what I'm showing here. But usually I have to wait first for the price action, and then I'll get into like any extra indicators, or like, you know, I'll look at RSI, I'll look at like EMA crossovers, I'll look at like pivot points, all this type of extra indicators I'll confirm. And if you've taken any of the training, like I'll look at the MT4 to see if it's showing me like any 3 on the 1 hour time frame. And then I'll just like mix all these things up to give me a better confirmation for my trade. So at the moment, I haven't found a trade just yet to enter in on. Actually, last night I didn't even find one as well. Sometimes you just have to be patient and wait for the market to come to you than you just chasing after the market. Because like for me, if I'm expecting AUD USD to go up, doesn't mean I just place a buy right here at the high. I'm waiting for some sort of dip confirmation to continue that uptrend. If not, I'm not getting in until then. And you guys will be able to see it too when this does happen. Those of you that are experienced, you'll be able to notice like when I spot out those really good trades. But usually for those really good trades, sometimes I'll increase my risk a bit because I know like the chances of winning are going to be really high. So let's check out GBP USD here. So again, if I'm expecting USD to get weaker, then GBP should be getting stronger. So let's see if my analysis aligns here. Okay, strong area of resistance here. So far, based off of what I'm seeing here, and this is a monthly time frame, so obviously this takes a long time for it to play out. But so far from what I'm seeing long term for GBP USD, I'm expecting for this to drop to about here first before doing its breakout to continue to rise up. So it might not, but we'll see. We'll see what I notice here. There's divergence on the monthly too. Oh, this is actually, let's see. Yeah, I want to say this already hit its profit level for this head and shoulder pattern that it did right here. If you notice closely here, we have the left head and then like right shoulder right there. So breakout happened right here, distance from head to neckline, distance that it should drop. So that already hit. I wouldn't necessarily consider this as a retest because it already hit. So, so we're gonna have to look deeper into this. Erase this. It's not confusing. We can see it's breaking through this resistance too. So it's like no longer wanting to stay within this area. And then if I did my Fibonacci and if it went to 78.6, then it's not in a strong downtrend for sure. And just by like visually, I've seen this many times. I know for sure it's past the 50% mark on the Fibonacci because 50% mark visually, you just look at this high and this low, and I can tell the 50% mark is about right here. It's in the middle. So here to here, see 50% mark is right there, as I stated there. So it did pass the 61.8 and it's heading towards the 78.6. If it touches the 78.6, then I don't look for reversal trades from there. If you actually see on my Fibonacci, I made this like very transparent, and that's because I'm not looking for these as reversals. 61.8 and 50%, they're red, a dark, bright red, dark, bright red. That makes no sense. It's a bright red because it's like the main area that I'm looking for its reversal. So yeah, it's heading higher into this point, and usually when it does hit into higher levels like this, you usually see it go up like this, maybe reverses off of here, but it will reverse usually about like halfway into like 61.8 area on its opposite side. So it'd be like this, and it would hit like 61.8 area and then do its rise like that. And I'm expecting GBP USD to rise anyways, just based off of analysis here on the USD. So, oh, and it would hit this resistance that's now support if it were to do this right here. Anyways, it doesn't matter to go into the 4-hour time frame because this is already my like overall prediction, and you don't want to buy highs. You also don't want to sell the highs either because you don't necessarily know just yet if it's going to reverse. There's no signs of reversal. Okay, done with GBP USD. Not getting in on that one yet. NZD USD. And let's time this actually. So it's 7:35. I'll show you guys how quick it is to do the entire analysis. And sometimes it takes me a little bit longer just because I'm explaining. But after the sip here, we will see how fast it takes. Okay. Quick trapping of price. So it already broke on this side. Oops, accidentally muted my mic. Strong resistance right there, so it's dropping down. Just based off of what I see here, I can see that this will most likely drop to about this area right here and then continue to rise right there, doing like its inverted head and shoulders. We can see left head and then potential right shoulder right there. Going down to weekly, it's doing its reversal right here. So it is going into that downtrend. From what I see here, it is it's going in a downward channel. So we'll most likely see this go up like this and then continue to go down. So we'll just check that. Let me read your guys' message. When you see price action, how far do you go to determine your future price? So that's a good question. I'll answer that real quick. And by the way, this is why it takes a little bit longer for each chart markup. But I'll look out into the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, very lowest to 15. So literally everything that's on your chart here on TradingView is what I'll be looking for. So because it's a good idea to have like an idea of where it's going to go long term and then short term as well. Like right now, if you see, my prediction is that it will most likely go up and just follow this channel right here into the downtrend. So I'm not going to wait for it to go all the way up here to then sell. I could get in for buys because I'm doing more of like day trading, like, you know, smaller time frame type of thing. But anyway, since I'm expecting a reversal, if you can actually see here, it's giving us a like left shoulder head, right shoulder right there. Neckline for this, I don't really like so much just because it's upward like that. I would say second form of neckline would be like this. Just to be able to get in earlier on this. This is kind of like the double bottom method right here. If you've taken the training, you would know that I've looked for this previous low over here and then the center point right here for the neckline. So looking to get in probably earlier right here, just because I don't like getting in late up there. So 4 hour. Now let's look at the 4 hour to make sure. So the 4 hour is mainly where I'm looking for my trend, and overall the trend is in a downtrend. So from what I see here on the 4 hour, it might reject here. Reject here and then go down. So this one is a bit tricky here, but let's see if we can spot something out. Consolidation, breakout, 1, 2, 3, triple bottom. So that's a triple bottom that it did on here, neckline right here. Breakout happened right there, distance from bottom to neckline, distance that it should rise up. Oh, so this is actually the one that I would be concerned to buy all the way, to buy here and then target all the way up here, because what I think is going to happen, and I've seen this happen many times, usually after a breakout. So here, I'll show you guys right here. So for triple bottoms, you usually see 1, 2, 3, right? So that's what I did there. Neckline's right there, so breakout right there. So distance from the bottom to the neckline is a distance that it should rise. Right, so that's that line that I have up there. But what you normally notice that happens is price will come up about halfway, so just where I expected, and then come back down to do what's called its retest. And then from the retest, then you can get in for like another trade on the retest if you wanted to, aiming for this target up there. But since it's a strong resistance like this, it's actually kind of concerning because it can stop halfway, do its retest, or it looks like it's going to do its retest, and then decide to continue this downtrend. Because technically it is on the downtrend, it's a strong resistance. Unless that resistance line was not there, then I wouldn't be concerned, but there is a resistance line there, and that's what's concerning right there. So if you don't spot these things, then the market will just hit and then reverse, and you'll think, it's going to go that way. But I would actually, where I would prefer to get in on is wait, because you don't want to get in now. It is at the breakout. Like, unless you have good risk to reward, then yeah, it's fine. You can get in right now. So if you were to get in right at this moment, I would do it like this. Stop loss. I'll show you. So basically the price is at 6, 7, 900. I'd put stop loss somewhere around like the 150, so 15 pips. Take profit, I would put at 250, or actually, let's see, 300. Yeah, so this is a 1-to-2 ratio. If you want to get in on this trade right now, you can. 1-to-2 ratio means, like, let's say you're risking $5 to make $10. So there is a chance that this will hit, but then there's also that chance that, what I showed right here, it will most likely do the retest and then maybe break through the retest and continue dropping down. But there's something else that you can do for this type of scenario. So it's kind of a way that you can trick the system and kind of like, not necessarily trick the system, but be smarter. So this is like a huge lesson right here, by the way, you guys, because this is something that kind of took time with learning. But let's just say you make $100 off this trade. Okay. Now, obviously, you have to calculate the lot size, all that stuff. But let's say from here to here, you make $100, but down here, you can lose $50 since it's a 1-to-2 ratio, right? Now, if you place this trade right now, this is what it can look like. But you can have another trade, and this is exactly where I would put it, a short position right below this retest point. And let me actually look at the price. So I would put it at around 750. It's because of quarters theory. We'll actually keep it the same, 300. And then 150 stop loss. So you see how the stop loss is basically the same, but backwards. It's the same exact risk management. So that means the profit on this side would also be 100 and the loss could be 50. So if you lost this first trade, you would lose 50. But if you win this other trade here, you would make 100. So overall, you would make $50. And now if you do this on a bigger scale, this could be $1,000. You could lose 500. You can make 500 off this trade. If you lose one, win one. So even if you're 50% winning trader, that's the thing. If you have good risk to reward, there's like, it's hard to lose money if you have good risk to reward. Especially like, you don't even have to be 100% accurate every single time, or even, like I mentioned, you could be 50% winning trader and still be profitable with using this right here. So that being said, you can place a trade here. Obviously, your lot size varies based off of your account size. So make sure that you use proper risk management. And if you don't know how to use proper risk management, you can actually watch this video if you go to YouTube. I'm currently live right now, but if you go to YouTube, there is a section here for education. And there is one here that the risk management 2.0. Highly suggest that you go through this. It's a 22-minute video, but it's definitely worth it when you're doing your trading. This is the updated version of the risk management. You can find that if you actually look up Market Masters Academy. That's where you can find the channel on there and look for the risk management 2.0. Just like that. Yeah, it's also on the website. And it's also like inside of the training, depending on like even the free training also includes it. Obviously, it's like even on YouTube. So this one right here, NZD USD is a good trade. I think just based off of USD analysis, it will be rising up and you'll make profit on the upside, but also on the downside. So after this live analysis, I'm going to be like looking at this some more. But we do want to be cautious about one area though. And if you know about quarters theory right now, the price might react off this 0.68000. So just be careful with that because you'll most likely see that reaction come down, but it might not hit the stop loss just because it'll have to reach all the way down here. So take a screenshot of this. This is a free trade for some of you guys to check out. We have about 15 minutes here, you guys. And I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So Euro USD, I did check that one out already. GBP USD, we checked out already. Next, GBP JPY. Now I know GBP JPY has been rising for a while. Market's been kind of funky with that one. But anyways, let's check that one out. So my prediction is kind of doing exactly what I'm seeing here with previously it was let me show the replay from over here. So this is what I expected for it to do, which was like consolidation like this. So it did do that, but it did it a little later. So it did it like on this side over here and a bit higher. So it's basically doing the same thing, but just a bit higher that I predicted. And that's because I usually notice that every single time, but just based off of what I'm looking at with GBP JPY and off the bigger time frame in this zone right here, it's at a really strong resistance point. You can actually see like here is that resistance point. Pretty much this area here, but it's like anywhere in between this point here. There's some divergence on the bigger time frame, which is giving me signs that it's expected to reverse. For the longer term sell would be when it breaks out on this side here, just because it's doing this right here. So we have uptrend here. Hasn't really broken out of this uptrend support, kind of a bit in this area here. But it's doing like its reversal pattern here. So that reversal pattern is kind of like a triple top, head and shoulder type pattern. It was doing 1, 2, 3, consolidating sideways. And so overall, expecting for this to do something like this. But just from looking closer, so since that's the overall prediction, and right now it's giving signs of like, it gave a really strong push. Then there's consolidation. And by the way, this really strong push right here, I actually talked about this last week. This really strong uptrend that happened right here is what's called, it's like the pole of the flagpole pattern. So what flagpoles look like is it's a really strong uptrend like this, and then consolidation, and then continuing to rise up, just like that. So it's kind of what's happening here. Big, strong increase, then like some consolidation. It should almost every single time for flagpole patterns, you do notice like 3 times. So it would be like 1, 2, 3. Here it's like 1, 2, and that's the third point that should be dropping down. So we should be expecting for GBP/JPY to drop. Now it's all about like zooming in, and this is where we can scalp this trade. So very lowest that it go down to is a 15-minute. I'm actually erase everything just so I can get a better look at this. Uptrend support. We don't have any reversal pattern just yet, but we do see 1 push, 2 push, 3 push. After the 3rd push is normally when you start noticing its reversal pattern. Usually it doesn't pass this resistance for the reversal, but sometimes that's because it's doing like its head. Then probably that right shoulder, and then it'll drop down like this. So you can quote me on this when it does happen. There'll most likely be a trade call out for this, but I'm waiting for this to do its reversal, and maybe can even spot out even earlier. Now, this is very rare that I'd ever go down past the 15, but let's just check this out. So we're on the 5-minute. There's divergence right here while this is going up like that. And we notice it's doing 1, 2, 3. Neckline like this. Distance from here to neckline is the distance that it should drop when it breaks. So we can have like a pending sell stop right here. For this one, just because it's scalping, I would do a 1-to-1. It's because you don't, it's very tight. It's like 5 pip trade. Entry probably at 350. Okay, so you can place this trade right here from 350 to 300. Just be cautious because the spread I even think is like, let me actually check on that real quick. The spread on GBP/JPY, now it depends on your broker, obviously. GBP/JPY, the spread is not too bad right now. 96 to 406. So somewhere around 10 pips. Just keeping that in mind, because if you enter right here, that means you actually enter in like at a loss of 10 pips because of the spread. So when it shows 50, it's actually kind of like it's really 40 or 60. But anyways, this is what I see here, and scalping to its fullest right here. I remember back then I used to do this. Look down to the 1 minute. It's just 1 minute, like that's very, very short. But if you want to scalp and get in on an even earlier entry, earlier entries are a bit more riskier, but you can go for it. Early entry would be like you enter in here. Distance from here to here should minimum hit this target here. but that's like 10 pips. So yeah, you would have to have like a really strong lot size on that one. But if you were to do something like this, I would actually advise that you do. So it was 370, 380, 380 entry. Do 75, so it's not a 1-to-1. 75 and then 50. So you can get in on this trade right here. This is how I look in for like a sniper entry. Getting it at 380 and then placing the target here. You can take a screenshot and I'll keep you guys updated inside the Echofin chat room what's going to be happening. But even on my MT4, I'm noticing that it's giving a 3, and I'll show right here. So this is GBP JPY. We notice a 3 happening right there. Usually that 3 it means it's going from an uptrend. That's like usually the final point before it starts doing its reversal. So expecting its reversal very soon. We just gotta be patient for that. Okay, so that's it for tonight's live analysis here. So again, update on this Thursday, we are having a live training session. This training session is going to include like price action methods, more of like the simpler methods, but things that are essential to be able to help you out with your trading. So be on the lookout for those emails with the invite, and we'll also share the link inside of the group so you guys can join in. But I would appreciate you guys if you join in to support the person who's going to be volunteering and helping you guys out there. So thank you guys for tonight, and we'll see you guys this Thursday and next week for Technical Tuesday. All right. And let me actually check this question here. Could I make any trading chart patterns sponsored by MMA? Trading chart patterns sponsored by MMA. Not exactly sure what you're referring to there, but there is like MT4 templates that I can have sponsored, but not too sure what you mean there. Posters. Message me on Instagram and we can kind of discuss that, but I'm not too sure exactly what you mean by that. But anyways, for this live analysis, we are done for tonight. It's 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Going to be looking out for tonight's London session, but mainly the New York session. We'll be looking out for trades, and actually, I'll most likely be getting in on the scalping trade for GJ here. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be calling out the trade pretty soon inside of the Signal chat platform. But I do see a pretty strong reaction so far right there. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys Thursday.